Chances are you're not always going to have somewhere that's nice and flat and without flies that you can set down sort of your landing pad or a sheet or something to take off your drone from. Now, hand launching FPV drones is inherently dangerous. I don't recommend that you do it at all, but if you want to find out how somebody else does it safely, keep watching and maybe get a few ideas. But yeah, hand launching FPV drones is very dangerous. You're going to lose fingers. Don't do it. But this is how I do it in a way that I think is as safe as possible. First thing that I recommend you do is you have to be comfortable flying your drone from line of sight. So what that means is without using the goggles. So set the drone down, take it off, practice hovering in front of you, moving side to side, forwards and backwards. You can turn the orientation around if you want, but remember, if you turn the drone to face you, all the controls will be reversed. So to make it simple, keep it facing away from you, and then just learn. These flies are so annoying. God, these flies. Keep the thing pointing away from you to keep it simple if you're not comfortable flying towards yourself. Plus, this is just going to be much safer in general. So learn to fly line of sight first. Once you're comfortable with that, you can move on to sort of launching and catching the drone. No, I can't. I'm going to have to put my fly net on. This is ridiculous. All right, that's much better. Okay, so when it comes to launching a top mount drone like this, you want to launch it from holding the battery. Now, I know this seems sketchy because your hands are closer to the propellers, but it's a much easier thing to hold from the battery than it is to hold from underneath. You don't have much control over it. So I'm going to basically talk you through a basic hand launch. So what you're going to do, you're going to have the drone out in your hand, you're going to arm it, and then you're going to slowly bring up the power. Now, if you start to wiggle the drone a bit, I'll show you. If you start to wiggle it, you can hear it fighting you. That's the PID loop, just trying to keep the drone in the same orientation. So what you want to do, don't try and fight it, just hold it nice and steady. Slowly bring up the power till you can feel it take the weight a bit. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to point it in a safe sort of direction, let it go, and then slowly bring the power up. Make sure you've got your left hand on the throttle stick ready. Take the power up and then just allow the drone to rise up. Take control back with your right stick and then drop your goggles down and fly away. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to go for it. So we're going to hold the drone out nice and safe distance away from me. I'm going to arm it and I'm going to slowly bring the throttle up so I can feel it take the weight, and I'm just going to let go, catch it, and off she goes. Really simple. All you got to do is just make sure you're on the throttle stick to catch it before it hits the ground, and then you're away. So I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to catch land it, and then I'm going to talk you through exactly how to do it safely. Okay, there we go. Okay, so landing is actually quite a different process to taking off. What you want to do, bring the drone in nice and stable towards you. If it's easier to fly from the normal orientation so the drone is facing away, do it. And then you're going to slowly bring it back. And what you want to do is you want to have your hand under, ready to catch it. Make sure your palm is dead flat. Do not let it get into the propellers. And then you're going to want to go towards it or let the drone come to you and then disarm it and then let it drop into your hand. Do not try and catch it while it's still armed. Make sure you disarm it before it touches you. So I'm going to run through that again. I'm going to talk you through it whilst I do it. Let's go. So we'll do another takeoff. Slowly bring the power up, catch the drone, off she goes. Fly it around a bit, pop your goggles on, do your flying, and then when you're coming back, fly it back towards you, get it into a place where it's nice and comfortable, lift your goggles up, and then slowly bring the drone back towards you, flying back. And you can see here I'm keeping it in the same orientation facing away from me, bringing it closer and closer. I'm going to get it to a place where I find it's nice and stable. So we're going to wait, be patient. Okay, so I'm almost there, and I'm going to kill it and catch it. Nice and simple. The main thing is do not try and pull it out the air. Just disarm it and then catch it. It's not as hard as it looks, but obviously it's a skill that's going to come in handy if you fly in places, you know, rocky cliffs or wherever there's nowhere to take off or land from nice and safely. Being able to launch and catch it from your hand is, yeah, it's a good skill to have. All right, I'm just going to send it off now. We're going to take it off from my hand, whip the goggles down, fly around, take the goggles off, and then catch it. Simple as that. Goggles on. And away we go. Gonna gonna get it to a spot where I feel nice and comfortable to remove the goggles. So I'm gonna spin around here. Give yourself a bit of height. Goggles up, make contact with the drone. There we go. I'm gonna start to bring it back nice and gently. This is where being able to fly line of sight comfortably is a huge key point. Here she is. And then kill it, catch it, and we're all good. No chopped fingers, no lost drones. Yeah, take it easy.